So if you have these and you feel uncomfortable using them, you should. Hey there, welcome back to Doing It with Jason Woodworking. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use a table saw, more importantly how to use a table saw with push sticks properly, safely, and avoid that kickback and get really nice cuts. Let's get started. Okay, so now the most common table saw push stick is one of these. As you can see, it's been eaten alive. This one's not usable anymore. No usable. There's a reason behind that. Years ago, this came with my saw, I believe, and I didn't have another push stick like the kind I really enjoy. And I was using it, and of course, it got away from me. Now, part of the big reason that I'm against these push sticks is because of that very moment. You're using these kind of push sticks, as you can see here, and when you're pushing the wood through, you really have no control. This extends my arm like well over 10 to 12 inches away from the blade, which is great, hypothetically. Theoretically, that sounds awesome. How can I push a piece of wood and keep my hand way away from that blade? Yeah, there's a cost to that. You have no control or little control. Sure, you can have some control. There's very little. When you're pushing from way up here, it's kind of flimsy. And there's a lot of people I've noticed using two of them, one on the left of the blade, one on the right of the blade. That's just complete gibberish. That's horrible. Do not do that. When you're doing, it's almost like you're making extensions for your arms that are not secure, and you're just leaving that board for one little mistake, one little bump, because you have no push down really with these. These are push sticks. They're going to be pushing the wood down a little bit and towards the blade, but at the same time, any little bump or any little thing in the wood, any knot, anything that gets a little hairy, it's going to get hairy real quick, and that board's just going to fly back and get you right in the stomach. So be sure to use these if you want kickback and you want it in the belly. But what I've found the most successful, the most unbelievable push stick are these, and you can make these yourself. I've made them throughout the years, different thicknesses. You can use 1/4 inch, you can use 1/2 inch, you can use 3/4, you can use 1 inch, you can use 5/8. You can use any thickness. And here, pause the video and then blow it up to your size, and you can cut this out on your computer. The best part about these is when you're pushing the material, you're not only locking it down, so you're not going to get that kickback, you're getting a lot of force going down, which when you're going at a blade that's coming at you basically and spinning towards you, it's going to want to bounce on you occasionally depending on what material you're using. And this is going to really secure it down at the same time of keeping it from kicking back. So you could just push this through all day long and be, not have an issue in the world. And as you see here, you can see you put your finger on the left side or your hand and kind of stabilize it towards the fence, always pushing in a forward to the right motion when you're behind the saw. So I would not recommend using two of these, one here and then one on the left of it, and trying to keep that left hand away from the blade. You do want to keep your left hand away from the blade, but at the same time, you can keep it stationary like in this video right here and pushing with the right. The most important thing about a table saw and safety of the table saw is do not push on the left-hand side of the blade with your push stick. Like you see here, do not do that. You're going to bind the material up and it's going to get you. So when you're rip cutting, which means you're cutting a smaller, thinner, longer piece versus a wide piece, do not worry so much about the left side of that blade. That is what's going to get you hurt. I've seen a lot of people using the left side of the blade and pushing primarily with that. You want to 90% be in control of the table saw with the hand that's closest to the fence, which is your right hand. You're going to want to have that as your lockdown, boom, pushing it, controlling everything. So if that means you have to like kind of twist because you're always going in that motion towards the fence, then do a little twist while you're going. Have that hand really going and locked in, because your right hand is your 90% hand. Your left hand is your 10% hand. It's going to be the hand, and I'm really bad with numbers, but we're just going those, that's just numbers, percentages. You're going to really just, that left hand's almost a floater. It's going to be your left hand's going to be just really just guiding the piece, and the wider the cut, the more you're going to use your left hand, yes. So you're just going to, it's almost like compensating for what your right hand has not enough strength to do, if that puts it in perspective. So you always want that hand to be 90%, but some people might not be as strong or pushed against the fence as much. So then you're going to have to, help out with your left hand a little bit in certain scenarios. So if you have these and you feel uncomfortable using them, you should. Don't feel embarrassed like, man, I can't understand this table saw. These will get you in a lot of trouble. But these will not. And I'm not trying to sell these or anything. These are make them yourself because it's so easy. Scrap wood, cut them, gives you a nice little project. So this method works for table saws of all sizes. Whether you have a little contractor saw that you drag out to the job site, or if you have a giant cabinet saw that's really bolted down and heavy, this technique is gonna make you feel much more secure using these push sticks. I promise you. Give it a try. Let me know what you think about it, and we'll see you next time on Doing It with Jason. Woodworking.